Jai Nandalala, Madhuri Sharanam. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the Nandajis for making this Maha Saraswatha Prayoham a big success. I'm very happy that it was a good success, and till now I have been receiving messages. And today we will start our satsang with Ganesha prayer, and then Mr. K. Shankaran will brief you on today's satsang. सर्वविघ्नहरं देवं सर्वविघ्नविवर्जितं सर्वसिद्धिप्रदातारं वन्देऽहं गणनायकम्
Jai Nandalala, Madhivali Sarana, Navir Saraswati, Natunayara. Today we will, after we start introduction, start with a 17-minute audio video of the Maha Saraswatha Prayoham that took place in Bangalore on 19th, 20th and 21st, conducted by Prabhakaran Swamigal from Kumbakonam. It was a unique homam, and this homam has a connect with the satsangam we have been having for the last 7-8 months, and it has got a good connect with the topic Madhivali Gita, adding life to life, which we have been discussing for a period of time. This homam has been actually intuitively suggested by Sri Akka, and when it was suggested way back in last Dasara, that was in Vijayadashmi, when he announced it, there were apprehensions, rightly so, because of the COVID event, and whether we will be able to conduct it in public in February, whether things will be more stable or less stable, and it's getting volatile. But Akka certainly showed us the way and ensured it happened with good public participation. Now I will ask Manda to play the transcripts, extracts from the video. Before that, I would like to say, normally we all know about Dhanvantri Homam. Here we have conducted Yoga Vasishta Dhanvantri Homam. The Moola Mantram is slightly different from the normal Homam. The reason is that when Rama and Lakshmana were too young, and Vishwamitra asked them to accompany him to Tadagavana to eliminate Tadaga. And Dasharatha was in tears. He said he will go and fight. But Vasishtha said, please don't ignore the demand of Vishwamitra. I will give a special mantra to the two kids, Rama and Lakshmana, which is called Yoga Vasishtha Dhanvantri Maha Mantra. Because when the two kids go to the forest, they will actually come across several hurdles. Could be virus, like the corona we are seeing, could be snake bite, could be fire, anything in the forest. And this particular mantra gave safety to Rama and mantra, the avatar of the Lord Narayana and Lakshmana itself. So we'll be playing that first. So please listen to that mantra carefully. We'll get redeemed of all the problems that today face. Then we'll move on to the other homams. Mandar, over to you. Wait.
ॐ ह्रीं क्लीं श्रीं अमृतकलशहस्तधन्वन्तरे महाविष्णोः सर्वेषां महाजनानां
पादादिकेश पर्यन्तपाभ्यमान समस्तरोगान् नाशय नाशय हुम्पटे
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये
अमृतकलशहस्ताय
सर्वामय विनाशनाय
त्रैलोक्यनाथाय
महाविष्णवे नमः देशाय विद्महे वैद्यराजाय धीमहि
नो धन्वन्तरि प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा
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 अच्युतानन्द गोविन्द विष्णोर्नारायणामृता
भोगान्वेनाशयाशेषान्
आशुर्धन्वन्तरे करे स्वाहा अच्युतानन्द गोविन्द विष्णोर्नारायणामृता
भोगान्वेनाशयाशेषान् धन्वन्तरे हरे स्वाहा
अच्युतानन्द गोविन्द विष्णोर्नारायणामृता
भोगान्वेनाशयाशेषान् धन्वन्तरे हरे स्वाहा
अच्युतानन्द गोविन्द विष्णोर्नारायणामृता
भोगान्वेनाशयाशेषान् धन्वन्तरे हरे स्वाहा
श्री अमृत धन्वन्तरगे इदन्न मम
कुरु कुरु सर्वकार्याणि साधय साधय ॐ ह्रां ह्रीं ह्रूं हुं पट् स्वाहा ॐ ह्रीं क्लीं क्ष्यों वं बड्गाय आपद्भुद्धारणाय कुरु कुरु बड्गाय महाभैरवाय महामृत्युञ्जयाय महाकालरात्रिस्वरूपाय महाप्रलयकालाग्निस्वरूपाय महाकालभैरवाय परशु शक्ति खड्ग केट तोमरधारय महाकालकण्ठ स्वरूपिणे प्रत्यक्षरुद्ररूपिणे शीघ्रम् अट्टकुलनागाढां विषम्
எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் களங்கமற்ற பூரணம் கடுஞ்சினத்தின் தோரணம் இளங்க நின்ற பைரவம் விசுத்தி சேர்க்கும் மெய்தவம் களங்கமற்ற பூரணம் கடுஞ்சினத்தின் தோரணம் விளங்க நின்ற பைரவம் விசுத்தி சேர்க்கும் மெய்தவம் நலங்கள் வாரி நல்கிடும் நமச்சிவாய நாயகம் துலங்கும் ஜோதி தரிசனம் தொடர்ந்து நம்மை ஆளவே ஆணவம் அழிக்கவே அயன் சிரத்தை கொய்தவன் மானவன் மகேஸ்வரன் வாழ்த்துவோரின் வரமவன் ஆணவம் அழிக்கவே அயன் சிரத்தை கொய்தவன் மானவன் மகேஸ்வரன் வாழ்த்துவோரின் வரமவன் தானுமாலையன் இணைந்த தத்துவத்தின் சித்திரம் தானுமாலையன் இணைந்த தத்துவத்தின் சித்திரம் பேணுகின்ற காவலாய் இறங்கி நின்ற நாதனே ஆணவம் அழிக்கவே அயன் சிரத்தை கொய்தவன் மானவன் மகேஸ்வரன் வாழ்த்துவோரின் வரமவன் தங்க வண்ணம் கொண்டவன் சாத்தியங்கள் கண்டவன் சிங்கத்தோலுரித்து சீற்றம் தீர்த்து விட்ட பைரவன் சிங்கத்தோலுரித்து சீற்றம் தீர்த்து விட்ட பைரவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் என்றுமே சிறந்தவன் சிங்கத்தோலுரித்து சீற்றம் தீர்த்து விட்ட பைரவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் என்றுமே சிறந்தவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் என்றுமே படைத்தவன் அன்பு செய் மனத்தினோர்க்கே ஆசி கூறும் பேசவன் பண்பகை அழித்துமே வாழ்த்த வந்த தாயவன் பண்பகத்தில் வாழவே பரிசளிக்கும் அரசவன் கெழுக தீமை எங்கனும் கேண்மை பெருக வையமும் அழக நன்மை யாவையும் ஆற்றலோடும் ஏற்றமாய் தொடுக உச்சி வரையிலும் தொடரும் இன்பம் நிலை பெற ஆற்றலோடும் ஏற்றமாய் தொடுக உச்சி வரையிலும் தொடரும் இன்பம் நிலை பெற வழுகநாதன் அருளுமே வழுவிலாது பெருகவே கெழுக தீமை எங்கனும் கேண்மை பெருக வையமும் அழக நன்மை யாவையும் ஆற்றலோடும் ஏற்றமாய் தொடுக உச்சி வரையிலும் தொடரும் இன்பம் நிலை பெற எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் எங்குமே நிறைந்தவன் ஓம் பைரவாய வித்மஹே ஹரிஹர பிரம்மாத்மகாய தீமஹி தன்னோ ஸ்வர்ணாகர்ஷண பைரவ பிரச்சோதயாத் ஓம் நமः சிவாய ஓம் நமः சிவாய ஓம் நமः சிவாய பேச்சை கொடுத்தவள் ஆசையுடனேயே பேச அழைக்கிறாள் வந்திடு பேச்சை கொடுத்தவள் ஆசையுடனேயே பேச அழைக்கிறாள் வந்திடு அவள் காற்றிலம்பின் ஒலி காதில் விழுது பார் கண்ணர காண நீ வந்திடு அவள் காற்றிலம்பின் ஒலி காதில் விழுது பார் கண்ணர காண நீ வந்திடு நான் முகன் நாயகி நாவில் எழுதியே ஞானம் அளிக்க அழைக்கிறாள் நான் முகன் நாயகி நாவில் எழுதியே ஞானம் அளிக்க அழைக்கிறாள் அந்த வான்முக மண்டலம் வாரினெங்கணும் மாதா சரஸ்வதி வாழ்கிறாள் அந்த வான்முக மண்டலம் வாரினெங்கணும் மாதா சரஸ்வதி வாழ்கிறாள் புத்தி அளிப்பவள் போதம் அழிப்பவள் பூரணமாக்க அழைக்கிறாள் புத்தி அழிப்பவள் போதம் அழிப்பவள் பூரணமாக்க அழைக்கிறாள் ஞான சக்தி சரஸ்வதி சாரதை அம்பிகை பக்தியில் மூழ்கி திளைத்திடு शक्ति सरस्वती शारदे अम्बिकै भक्तिயில் மூழ்கி திளைத்திடு பக்தியில் மூழ்கி திளைத்திடு பக்தியில் மூழ்கி திளைத்திடு.
श्रोत्रा वयो घोषा वयो व्रता वयो विभ्राड्रहम्यमा नेतृतो विश्वे देवासागत
दाश्वांसो दारुषसुदं स्वाहा विश्वे देवासो अप्तुरसुदमागन्ततूर्णायः
उस्रादिवस्वसराणि स्वाहा
विश्वे देवासो असृधेहि मायासो अद्रुहाः
वेदं जुषन्तवह्नज स्वाहा
आवगानः सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती
यज्ञं वष्टुधिजावस स्वाहा
गोदयित्री सूनृतानां चेतन्ति सुमतीनां
यज्ञं दधे सरस्वती स्वाहा
महार्णः सरस्वती प्रजेदेति केतुना
धिजो विश्वाविराधज स्वाहा
ओमासस्तिर्षणि धृतो विश्वे देवासागता
स्वांसो दाशिरस्सुदं स्वाहा
विश्वे देवासो अप्तुरसुतमागन्ततूर्णायः
उस्रादिवस्वसराणि स्वाहा
विश्वे देवासो असृधेहि मायासो अद्रुहाः
वेदं जुषन्तवह्नज स्वाहा
पावगानः सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती
यज्ञं वष्टुधिजावस स्वाहा
चोदयित्री सूनृतानां चेतन्ति सुमतीनां
यज्ञं दधे सरस्वती स्वाहा
महार्णः सरस्वती प्रजेदेति केतुना
धिजो विश्वाविराधज स्वाहा
ओमासस्तिर्षणि धृतो विश्वे देवासागता
स्वां
शनि धृतो विश्वे देवासागता दाश्वांसो दाशुषस्वतं विश्वे देवासो ॐ वाग्देव्यै च विद्महे ब्रह्मपत्नी च धीमहि नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः सोमो वा एतस्य राज्यमाधत्ते यो राजा संराज्यो वा सोमेन यजते देवसुवा वेदानि हविगुं चितवन्ति एतावन्तो वै देवानागुं समाः त एवास्मै सवान् प्रयच्छन्ति तयेनं पुनस्वत्से राज्याय देवसो राजा भवति
देव्यै च विद्महे ब्रह्मपत्नी च धीमहि
तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात्
देव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि
तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गी प्रचोदयात्
That was a nice compilation of a 3-day event in just 17 minutes. For those who have not been able to see the homam, we have captured. And kudos to Nandadi's Mandar and Srikantesh. The videos and photographs arrived only day before yesterday, and they ensured that they are able to capture the precious moments of the 3-day Saraswatha Prayoham and present to Nandaji's and to the public at large. Thanks to them. Now it's a very special day today. We had this Saraswati Maha Saraswati Prayoham on 21st in Navami, significant for Maha Saraswati. Today is also Navami, and today is Moolam Star, and Moolam Star is dedicated to Goddess Saraswati as well as Hanuman. At the Nandala temple, we had we had this Anjaneya Homam today also. So we are actually connected with the Homam in every which way. And we had several Nandajis participating in this home from Bangalore as well as from abroad, from other places too. And they wanted to share some of their experiences during this homam. And I invite first Mandar to give his experiences in a couple of minutes.
Jainandala to all. So actually, for those of you who don't know me, I am the son of Kalyani Sabnis and Udayan Sabnis. I'm from Bangalore chapter. So first of all, actually, me attending this program was very unexpected because normally my parents are very involved and I am at home, looking after the house when they are not there. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, this time the roles were a little switched. And I had to be there for the program as well as the preparation for the program. Probably what you can say is, Akka preparing me for the future. I've always heard my mother say that, we need youngsters to come. And probably this was her way of pulling me in it. So from the start, that was from Thursday, it was, a very great experience. How it goes around, how we plan, how things come across to us, how we take in different ideas, and everyone's ideas are welcome. That is what is important in our Samiti. It's not that we will look at the age or the seniority, but everyone's ideas are welcome. Then from Friday onwards, it was actually a wonderful experience because for me, I have never, seen such pundits who had come. Actually, I'm very grateful to see that, these type of programs and the way the pundits were performing the rituals. It was very interesting because I had never before seen it, and I was actually very curious. So almost at the end of every program or at the end of every ritual, I used to either catch hold of Shankar Mama, Srikantesh Anna, or Rama Mami, and start asking them questions that what is this exactly and why do we do this. So it was actually a very great learning experience. And I did not know most of the things. For example, how in the visuals I had shown that they are making fire for the Saraswati homam, which I had not known. So that was one. I've always seen homams which are already lit, but I don't know how they have started. So that was a great experience. And overall, it was a lot of fun and a lot of teamwork as well. There were a lot of learning experiences. I can say that I had I contributed on every aspect, right from filling in prasadams to writing receipts. Then if there was any table moving work or other work, distributing prasadams, even annadanam, then helping build the homam, and then removing all the bricks, all of that. So it was a very exciting experience, and probably it was opportunity for me, to show that okay, I am also involved, because even Shankar Mama mentions that when we ask for a skill, suppose when we ask for patience, Akka doesn't give us patience directly, but she gives us an opportunity wherein we can show patience. So maybe this was my opportunity, and I'm really glad that I stepped up and I was there for all the 3 days. Initially, I was supposed to be there only for the Saraswati Homam, but thanks to Akka's grace, I was there for all the rituals, all the 3 homams, and the Saraswati Abhishekam, and I got to see some amazing rituals. So thank you so much, Jayananda Lala.
Thank you. Now, is Manikandan available there? I don't see his name here.
Oh, you see it virtually and
Okay, that's it. Please.
So the first thing I would say maybe a month before when we spoke about this woman for 3 days.
Louder? We are not able to listen to you.
Hear me now clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing which kind of when we spoke about this homam 1.5 months before and about the agenda spanning across 3 days, I thought it is definitely a very unique kind of a homam for sure. At the same time, I also felt okay. All these days we have done 1 to 1.5 days, and suddenly it's a 3-day one. So in terms of availability, and that too in this kind of the COVID situation, where do we leave kids and how do we get involved? So a lot of prayers to Amma in terms of giving us the strength to not feel this an overwhelming situation out there. And Amma really was there all through to help us, guide us, make us feel a very different and a unique spiritual experience all through. So first, thanks to her. I would really thank her in the situation to have made this a very great experience and to have taken away the overwhelming aspect of it. 3 days of great execution. Definitely a lot of effort from all the Nandajis, and without this would not have been a success or such a positive experience that we are experiencing today. One thing that came to my mind, or even many of us, including Rajesh, myself, we were all speaking about this, that it sounded very much like a big family function, right? Because of the crowd, which was which was not so much, but still a good amount of crowd came there to kind of get the spiritual vibe from the place. They all passed in a lot of positive comments about the way the event was organized. And at the same time, we also had a lot of time to stand in front of the Homa ourselves to experience and absorb the energy. So I think in a general situation in the past years, we would have seen so much of crowd coming in, and our effort would have been towards regulating them, running around here and there with much more logistics. This time, I somewhere felt, we were able to get that. And I always used to ask Amma on this, will there be a time when I'll be able to be fully involved into what's happening on the stage and not be just running around. I mean, running around is very important to be doing things to make this, to facilitate these things also. I have always also felt that even just moving a single stone as a towards success of the homam is going to give the same benefit as sitting there and witnessing. So Amma is going to anyway bless us. But this time, personally observing the entire event was very great. The stage decorations, the way the goddess and all the statues were, decorated, all the vigrahas were decorated, was mind blowing. And eyes were not enough. I think everybody went onto the stage at a later point in time to click photos, and they were able to see how nicely it was done. Maybe a couple of feedback points, Uncle, if I can just talk about them, or like.
The feedback we'll keep for our separate Bangalore chapter function. While we enjoyed everything, there are a couple of points we want to improve upon. That we will keep for a separate Bangalore chapter meeting and then discuss.
Sounds good, Uncle. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think me and Varshini both were be able to be present and to enjoy this occasion. As usual, I always tell this. I'm always amazed to see how nicely Amma has knit all of us together to such a noble cause, to be of some service to the people out here. So I'm always amazed by that. Jai Nandalala, Madhyoli Charan.
Vignesh?
Jai Nandalala. I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Jai Nandalala. So first of all, I would say this is, I mean, like everyone said, this is definitely a unique homam that most of us wouldn't have heard of. Before the 3 days, I have seen my parents and I'm pretty sure all the others who spent the first month and a half just to collect all the sankalpams and to start with. I mean, when we are in such a big crisis, for Ambal to have just come and say that do this for the good of the society itself tells us that even though Akka is not physically with us, she is with the world and guiding us in spirit all the time. So that itself is a very, very comforting feeling that, right, in terms of crisis, not just for people who are involved with Nandalala Samiti Trust, but even for the general good of the world, Akka is there to help everyone and ensure that there is equilibrium and everyone gets what they need, right? At least in these terms, in these bad times. So one was that. The second is the trust that even the public had in the Samiti, right? With Nandalala Seva Samiti, because most times when a homam happens, people used to be there in the temple, connecting with them, and then getting all the sankalpams. But this time everything was virtual, and even though it was virtual, the amount of response that we got was, I think, much more than what we had in previous events. So that itself shows that the effort that we have been putting and the guidance that Ambal has been showing us is bearing fruits, and people are recognizing our efforts in terms of how much the organization cares for the world and how much we have been able to give back to them. So I think that is a very, very big positive that we need to look at. Given these times, even though we've not been able to connect with them physically and face to face, the amount of support and trust that the world has shown in us, because they don't know us as much. So to just say that, hey, we are doing this, and they're saying, yes, we want to participate, itself is a very big sign. And then those 3 days, I think it went very peacefully. Most homams, I mean, there will be some amount of chaos here and there, but this time, all the 3 days was extremely peaceful. And as Manikandan pointed out, it was more like a family function where everyone was there, not just to ensure we do what Akka asked us to do, but to also enjoy the event, which is we are doing this for the good of the world, and we need to do this in a very, very happy way. And I think that's how the whole event panned out. So definitely this is nothing short of Akka's blessings, and good to see that everyone's taking that guidance forward. And even though Akka is not physically present with us, we are there to kind of take her vision forward and say that we want to do something for the world and continue whatever work we've been doing so far. So yeah, I think that is my initial feedback.
Thank you, Manikandan. Vignesh, Jyoti, you are there? Is it Jyoti?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, please.
Jai Nandalala, Madhyoli Sharanam. My experience started a month back towards this homam when Shankarji asked me to tune the Navagraha slokas in Tamil. And then suddenly he sent me this Engume Niraindavan song and told me to tune it. First, actually, I sent a very melodious tune, and he said, I want something that reverberates Shiva in everybody, something like the Shiva Thandavam. Then I had just tuned it, and he said we need at least 3 to 4 singers in that. Then immediately I called up Janani, and we both kind of brought out the tune of the song. And the next thought, then he suggested you take up Amrita also. And the next singer that came to our mind was Vijay Rajagopal. So the four of us, actually, Janani, myself, and Vijay had some practice, but we could not have Amrita in. Amrita was very busy. In fact, till the last minute on Monday, we were not sure if Amrita would join, but luckily she joined us. And believe us, it was just one take. We went for the song, just one take. We finished recording the song, and with just some nuances to be made, we recorded it again and got it done. But before that, after we tuned the song, for the instruments to be the accompaniments was like a big task for us. 3 to 4 days, I was turning every mountain, like calling up every person I knew, every single person I would have had in touch through Nandalala or through our music group, whatever. Everybody was busy. Nobody was available. And in fact, finally, Vijay gave me a number. This boy had played tabla and mirdangam in Nandalala when he was in school, and now he's studying in Puttaparthi. But he was also not busy. I mean, he was also not available. And then his mother gave us another contact called Sai Bharat. He lives just near Aka's house. So he was a wonderful find. And after recording the song, the entire percussion accompaniments, whatever Shankarji had asked us to do, it was all done by Sai Bharat. And today, now, I extend all my gratitude and appreciation to Sai Bharat for the wonderful accompaniment music that he had done for the song. I think that made up the whole thing, the effects, the reverberation that comes the moment. Even now, after seeing the video, I think Mandar has done a wonderful job. It was like, it just gave goosebumps and took me to a different plane when I heard that song with the video today, with the homam being attached to that song. And this Sai Bharat, this is also a student of Puttaparthi Music College. And he's just passed out last June, and he has set up his own studio. His father has set up a studio in his own house, just in very, very close to Akka's house. And he was such an energetic boy, very eager to, help us. There were percussion accompaniments and others from Coimbatore and then Bangalore. They all had recorded and sent their accompaniments to the song there. And the song has come out well. And believe me, we could feel when the song came out, it was sheer Aka's effort, just like how everything she does. The Navagrahas, Kirtanams, the songs, the shlokas in Tamil that we had tuned, and even this Ingume Niraindavan, like it showed that she is there everywhere. Ingume Nirainda, Engala Varikatrangardu, every second we could feel. And soon after this song was recorded, Chandini called me up and said, we are going to our Kuladevam temple, and she wanted us to accompany her. But when we went on the trip, the number of Kala Bhairavas we would have seen, all the 3 days, we had so many darshans of Kala Bhairavas. The whole month, I think when I read the synopsis of today's meeting, which Shankarji has shared about Yajnam, he said. So this whole January month was like a Yajnam for me personally, because I was fully occupied on learning the Navagraha slokas in Tamil, singing it in proper raga, and then this Engume Niraindavan song. Like every breath I took, I think I was saying Engume Niraindavan, Engume Niraindavan. The words were constantly going on in my mind. And then the urge to attend the homam was very, very, I don't know, I wanted to attend all the 3 days, but unfortunately I couldn't do it. But the last day when I came there, I was so happy. I was reminded of all the homams that we did in Chennai, especially the 3-day homam in Padmanabhaswamy temple. And I don't know, I just don't have words to express my feelings there. It was so divine. We could, I really understood like what Akka has taught us in all these years, given us a platform to exhibit each and every one of our personal talents, bring out our talents and all our learning there. And the homam was so well performed, especially the Bhattacharyas, such coordination, such dedication there. During the when they had prepared the Agni, when what was shown in the video, especially there was Samavedam going on. I had shared this video link with many of them. One of my friends immediately messaged me saying, how come Iyengars are doing such wonderful Samaveda Parayanam? It was so nice, Jyoti. This was the feedback that I got that day. And I said, you should have come here personally and seen it. He was in Bangalore, but a little far off and couldn't come. So that was the reaction that I got, feedback that I got for the homam. So it was really bliss. I felt very, very happy attending that day's function, very well coordinated, such beautiful coordination between the, the volunteers there. We were happy that we could be there that day. The alankaram to all the deities there, the way in which the chantings and everything that was performed, and especially Akka's most favorite department, the food department. I would never ever forget that. The breakfast, the lunch was as usual awesome. The selection of the items there, the menu, because since we have been associated with a lot of homams and with Akka, in especially I would be given only the Sapada department. So we used to plan lunch and menus with Akka. She would be so specific about choosing, different items for every like breakfast or lunch or dinner. So I could really see and feel that I could feel her presence there when I had breakfast, when I had lunch. So it was like through and through feeling, thinking about Akka. So it was a wonderful opportunity. I really thank Shankar and the Bangalore chapter for giving us this opportunity. We hope, and to see the youngsters also doing such a lot of work and wonderful coordination silently was really heartening to see. Very, very happy. I'm so happy. I hope in future both Chennai and Bangalore can do more such, give us more such occasions and opportunities. We wish and pray that more youngsters come forward and do such wonderful works. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jyoti. Chandini?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Namaste, Jai Nandalala. First, it was a great opportunity to be part of this wonderful homam. It's Sri Zakka's blessings that we were asked to be the Sankalpam couple for Kala Bhairava homam. It so happened the previous week of this homam, we were planning on a 3-day trip to our Kuladevam temple near Mayavaram. It then occurred to us to ask Shankar about what other temples we can visit en route. He suggested us to go to Bhairavanatha temple in Sirgari and Buddhan temple in Tiruvangadu the temples for this year. It was a Friday when we went to Satanadar or Bhairavanatha temple in Sirgari. And then that evening we saw Kala Bhairava also in Mayuranatha temple. The next day we went to Tiruvangadu, and in Agoranatha Sannidhi, we had darshan of Ashta Bhairavas. So almost the whole trip was about Kala Bhairava for us. So after we returned, Shankar messaged us asking if we would be the Sankalpam couple for Kala Bhairava Homam in the evening session on Friday. And of course, we gladly said yes. What more do we want? It was an unforgettable moment when the Bhattacharya started the Sankalpam proceedings that Friday evening. There was a roar of thunder and showers of blessings came pouring. We were totally immersed in the mantra chanting and the vibration and felt Sri Akka's presence too. And all the 3 days, we could feel and think, yeah, Akka would like this, Akka would want it this way. So when we saw this Go Puja in the morning, we were reminded of the monthly Go Puja in Jayamalar. Sri Akka would personally ensure that everything is kept ready the previous evening itself. Again, when we saw the white lotuses carefully spread out and kept for the next day Homam and Archana, we were reminded of the 3-day Homam in Anantapadmanabha Swami temple in Chennai. On the 3rd day, there was this worship with almost 1,000 lotus flowers. The discussion was there on about where they should be kept so that it would bloom and be ready for the puja. Akka came there and said, it doesn't really matter where they are kept. Only if I wish for and tell them, the lotuses shall and will bloom. Most precious moment for some of us present then. It was heartening to see our youngsters volunteering so cheerfully, and not to forget our cheerful little Radhe Tulasi, who helped in packing the Sankalpam Prasadam with so much enthusiasm. Akka always wanted the children to take part in all Nandalala activities. We realized how much Akka has taught us in her own subtle ways. Thank you, Akka, for the beautiful experience. Madhyoli Charanam.
Thank you. It was quite nice of you. Jayashree?
Jai Nandalala, Madhyoli Charanam. It was only that we could attend the Homam at Bengaluru. Actually, we watched the Dhanvantri Homam on the webcast on Friday morning. Shri Saraswati Ambal really beckoned us that we decided that after 12 noon, we drove down to Bengaluru. The decorations at the venue were beautiful and sober. The ambience was divine, and we could feel the presence of Akka there. The team of acharyas who performed the Homam was very well organized in all aspects of the Homam. Whether it is the chanting of the mantras or the Ahudi Kudukardo, everything. And by coincidence, I was listening to the explanation of Sri Velukudi Krishnan for the 23rd verse of chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna says, Kata Sankasya Muktasya Jnanavasthita Chetasaha Yajna Yacharatha Karma Samadhram Praviliyate. It means they are released from the bondage of material attachments and their intellect is established in divine knowledge. Since they perform all actions as a sacrifice to God, they are freed from all karmic reactions. On the second day of the Maha Saraswati Prayoham, I was reminded of this verse while I was following the Mula Mantra Japam. The Mula Mantra went on like this, requesting the goddess to grant us Buddhi, Prajna, Vidya and Vinayam in that order. We need Buddhi, intelligence first, then Prajna, awareness, then Vidya, knowledge, and Vinayam, humility. They concluded each time with Vinayam Dehime Devi Saraswati. I connected this with our previous satsangs where we were discussing about the aspect of humility written by Sri Akka. This part was a very revealing experience while participating in the Japam session. We could perceive the grace of Sri Akka all through the home. Every little aspect was well planned and taken care of. Despite the COVID pandemic conditions, the arrangements were conforming to the government norms and was very comforting to all the participants that we could really involve in the proceedings of the Homo. The Veena recital and dance by young artists was very appropriate as Sri Akka always enjoyed participation by children. The dance was very divine, emotional and enthralling. The organizing committee had thought of each detail as how Sri Akka would have done it or liked it. Sri Akka had always given the special, unique prasadams for all the homams she had conducted in person. In a similar way, the prasadams of the homam were also very well planned and executed so well. The committed work of all the Nandajis made this homam a grand success. I am very happy that we could witness this and be part of this and take the blessings and the positivity through. And we prayed for everybody, all known children. And it was really a very pleasant and divine experience. Thank you, Akka. Jai Nandalala, Madhyoli Chatni.
Vishnu?
I think Shankar Mama has some network issue. Vishnu Dada is supposed to go next. Is he here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Vishnu, yeah.
Sure. Jai Nandalala. I think when we first heard about this homam happening during this pandemic time, a lot of us would have gotten the first thought to say how this is all going to happen and fall into place. But as Sri Akka has shown so many times in so many things that we have undertaken in the past, that the idea that is given is hers, the execution is hers, and even I think we as instrument are hers. So we are just, I mean, there is absolutely no room for doubt. And as the function showed, everything just went off really, really great. So in this time, actually, last 3 years, every time we have had a homam in the same venue, people have always come and asked us, when is the next homam? And if you look at one thing that always comes to mind in this venue is the cooperation of the crowd. We get absolute silence and everybody is quiet and contemplating in the homam, which shows how that entire environment has, pulled them to this place, and it's just keeping them so focused and able to focus on the divine in this environment. One other thing that was quite, I think, apt for the situation was the hall where it was actually held, where the homam was held, was actually called Jnana Mandira. So I don't know how many people noticed this. The temple is the Ganapati temple in Koramangala, but the hall where the homam is held was actually called Jnana Mandira. Now, given the Maha Saraswatha homam we are doing, and in a hall that is called the Jnana Mandira, I think that the connect is quite obvious. I would like to just share a couple of experiences that Chidapa also mentioned I should share. One is about everybody mentioned about the white lotuses. The previous evening, the white lotuses were used for two things. One was the previous second day evening, there was a Sahasranama Archana, and the next morning, of course, they were used for the Homam itself. Now there was a specific count for the following day for use during the Homam of 1008. And as we were counting things, it became kind of clear that these petals were kind of dropping away. So we had a lot of extra lotuses, but then there was some amount of, I would say, palpable tension there to say that whether we will stick to the count. And why I bring the count is in all this, the Pradhana, the priest who was heading the whole thing, he had said that Sri Akka had come in his dream and said, "Yanakku 1008 lotus venu in the homathila," which meant, and he was like, make sure there are 1008, and now for the previous day in the Archana, you make sure that we get the count there, but for the next Homam, it has to be there. Now with that, the count for the following day that we had for the Homam was just exactly 1008 and a little bit more, just to give us some peace of mind. So that was one experience. And again, we had the Vinayatiri Padigam going on in our mind to say, Akka, you take care of it and just make sure that everything goes right. And as always, she did. One thing that I would like to share as we, at the end of the, or just after around the Purnahuti time. So during the meditation there, one of the things that came as a visual was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lotus petals with Sri Akka right in the middle and smiling very, very, very brightly. And what this really told us at that point in time was that, this entire seat of knowledge is her. So in the Maha Saraswata Homam, when we see this, and it felt like, okay, the whole thing is organized by her, and that she is very, very happy with the whole experience. Just wanted to share these two things. Jai Nandalala.
Thank you, Vishnu. Steve, you want to say something? Or shall I go more? Go ahead.
I would like to say something. Yeah. You gave me 3 minutes, so let me try to cover it in 3 minutes.
3 minutes, because somebody has taken more than 3 minutes.
Okay, so I'll try to complete. You can actually interrupt me anytime, because if we speak about Ambal and things, it goes on like Shivaratri. Okay, Om Madhyoliye Namaha. It all started 3 months before, when Shankar Mama told about the Saraswati Prayoham. For me, the finding life in life, or living life, or finding anything, a reason for life, all started 3 months back, where I thought Akhilandeshwari Aksharamala I should be learning. I was always used to think, how come Kandamani Mama gets up at 2 in the night and chants, and is it really possible humanly? And when I started doing this, I could, and every day it is like drinking nectar. Every day you know that you're going to get some sweet. Every day you know that you're going to get honey to drink. It was like that. And thanks to Shankar Mama for reviewing everything. So that was a very good experience, that I could just complete the Aksharamala right before the Homam. Then it started with suddenly Shilpi's son giving a call and telling Akhilandeshwari photo is available. And I don't know why I felt we should also have Kutanur Saraswati. She's so beautiful. I didn't know why to buy it, how to buy it, how to get it. All of that, everything just happened. She made it a point that I deliver it in time to Shankar Mama's house. That was the second thing which happened. After that, coming down to the Homam, Saraswati Homam is very, very important to me, because we have all promised Ambal that we'll take care of Madhyoli Vidya Bhavan. This is the only hope at this point of time for me and for every one of us, because we have promised, and I wanted to keep up the promise. So praying to Saraswati was the only alternate, serving there was the only thing. It started with the first day, second day, where we came down, and things were all well organized. And throughout, I would always take Ganesha and Murugan as my brothers. Like, if Akka is my mother, these two are my brothers, right? According to all that story which we have. So just like Murugan and Ganesha, we had Mandar and Shivkumar. Help me right from the beginning till the end, and Mandar taught me one thing, to be polite. My mother, even now, she said, please convey that to Mandar, that he was very, very polite. So I learned one thing from him. With Shiv Kumar, during this lotus counting, there was a bit of, I was a bit firm in whatever I was telling. So he told me that Shankar sir has never told me anything the last 10 years, which made me realize that how could Shankar sir be that? So I need to have classes from Shankar sir. That was a very good experience. Now, coming down to the lotuses as such was very, very important, as Chandni pointed out. So many years back, the lotus blooming came in my dream, but now I could see that right happening in front of my eyes. So when we had kept everything, and I was very, very particular that somebody has to be there in the night to see that, because I always like housekeeping. So she gave me Ambal gave me a chance to do the housekeeping work of taking care of the lotuses, mopping, sweeping, everything, all of that. Next, there are two other important things which I would like to tell. One was when we were after the Purnahuti on the last day, there was a bit of, I was a bit stressed, and I was just waiting for a indication from Ambal to find out what has to be done next. From somewhere, Tirvanai Kaval Tirtham appears, and she tells me that use water and do the work that has to be done. That was very, very clear. I used water and I did whatever had to be done. So this way she communicated. Not that she didn't communicate throughout. Every step she has been communicating. I have so many things, and I know I have to complete another 1 minute. Yeah. The next thing was about the food. Thanks to Indu Mami for organizing everything. And I didn't have food because Akka had not had food in Vancha Kalpa Ganapati Homam until the Homam was over. So I didn't have food on that day. And last, Indu Mami had packed something for me. I went down and I told Akka, after all this big Homam, I get to eat only Chakara Pongal. Is this what you want to give me? And I just smiled at myself. All of a sudden, the cook who was sleeping gets up as if Akka told him in his dream, get up, Srikantesh has come down, go and feed him. He gave me all the dabbas that were kept. We had it for the next 2 days. So there are like endless things like this. I would like to thank Vishnu, Vignesh, Manikandan, Rajesh, and everyone there, Sairam Mama, like everyone. I would have missed out many names, but I would like to thank you, everyone. This was like Otrumai, nothing else.
Thank you.
Mama, you can add any adjective you want for Otrumai. This was the best thing that has ever happened in this corona. After we came down, Telangana government announced that we can start 6th standard, and we have started 6th standard offline classes. Prabha Mami is coming to the school, and we are giving breakfast, lunch, and some snacks. This has started from last Saturday. So that is the best thing that could have happened. So I'm very happy for everything, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Srikantesh, sticking to the time. I like to say a few words. I have restricted myself a couple of minutes on this significance of why do you offer white lotus dipped in honey. Many people ask me. What comes to my mind is that what is a white lotus? I'm having something on my hand now, white lotus. It was kept on Aka's padam. I just had it so that I get inspiration. White lotus is very, very significant. It grows in a muddy place. Not in spite of it, but because of it. That shows the resilience. In Egypt, white lotus as a symbol denotes 1,000 number. It is not the word other. Sometimes they do use symbols to denote numbers. White lotus means 1,000 in number for Egypt. Coming to our own this one, the white lotus, all of us know it is very good for Saraswati. Then what is the order with this homam dipping in honey and offering into the heaven? You can get a reference from Saundra Lagari slogan 9 and Saundra slogan 16, and also 72 of Abhirami Andadi, which will play those songs sung by Janani quite nicely. So slogan 9 says about how from the Mooladhara, the energy rises to the head level, crossing Agnya Chakra, which is 1,000-leaf petal. It's actually white. Many times, many of these people who talk about all these chakra, they'll talk purple, pink, but actually it is Sahasrara is white. From that, honey flows. The honey is made to flow by Lord Shiva, that is Amritadhara. So in this 1,000 white lotus, Amritadhara is given by Lord Shiva, and Sakti and Shiva are there. This is the whole meaning of the white lotus being offered to Saraswati. Then why dip in honey? The dara which Lord Shiva gave out of the white lotus in the Sahasrara was Amrita, that is also honey. That's why it is offered. Second, in the sloga itself, it says that when you pray with the sloga 9 and 16, you will have to offer honey to Goddess Devi. Once again, it's all actually made there, so we had to really know why Akka wanted this way and why should he came to the dream of the Parvakaran Swamigal and say, I want white lotus dipped in honey and being offered to that. Honey is actually binding. Honey is the greatest antiseptic one can have, and honey is meant for not only sweet words but also complete unity among people. That's a binding force. Many times when there are issues in relationships, Akka used to say, go and offer honey as abhishekam to any god of your choice. So that's why honey also came into place there. And the next one is that if you take the Kalabhairava song, there is the last pair, it says that அடைய நன்மை யாவையும் ஆற்றலோடும் ஏற்றமாய் தொடுக உச்சி வரையிலும் தொடரும் இன்பம் நிலைபெற தொடுக உச்சி வரையிலும் தொடரும் இன்பம் நிலைபெற. Normally we interpret this as that you reach zenith in your material life and stay there. There is no downfall for you from there. But what it means is that as you pray to Kala Bhairava, he raises your energy to Sahasrara. And you don't go back to the Kundalini and then go to the base element. You remain there itself. This is where the meaning of slogan 9, 16 and 72 Abram under the comes in. And let us now listen to this nice music.
मही मूलाधारे कमपि मणिपुरे हुतवहम् स्थितं स्वाधिष्ठाने हृदि मरुतमाकाशमुपरि मनोऽपि भ्रूमध्ये सकलमपि भित्त्वा कुलपथम् सहस्रारे पद्मे सहरहसि पत्या विहरसे कवीन्द्राणां चेतः कमलवनबालातपरुचिम् भजन्ते ये सन्तः कतिचिदरुणामेव भवति विरिञ्चि प्रेयस्याः तरुणतर शृङ्गारलहरी गभीराभिर्वाग्भिर्विदधति सतां रञ्जनममी என் குறை தீர நின்று ஏற்றுகிறேன் இனி யான் பிறக்கில் நின் குறையே அன்று யார் குறை காண் இரு நீள் விசும்பின் மின் குறை காட்டி மெலிகின்ற நேரிடை மெல்லியலாய் தன் குறை தீர எம் கோஞ்சடை மேல் வைத்த தாமரையே எம் கோஞ்சடை மேல் வைத்த தாமரையே எம் கோஞ்சடை மேல் வைத்த தாமரையே.
The last lyric was from Abraham Yandasi. It is in Tamil. What it says is that Devi is actually seated in Saraswatha, and Shiva carries her feet on his head. That is the importance of Saraswatha. As I was, sitting in the Homa was an accident. There are only 9 people at the Homa. The 10th person was doing Sankalpam for the individual couples outside the hall, and we had to start the Homam. I told Prabhakar Swamigal that I am sometimes offered in Homa. I am dressed properly in the traditional way. I can offer whatever you want me to offer on the Havan till your team joins me. He said, please go and do it. Immediately he came down and said that you offered all the lotus, so you are not going to get out of this place till 1008 is complete. And it was a challenge because I'll have to dip it in honey and ensure that honey doesn't drip outside the fire, and honey with the flower goes into the fire. At doing it 1008 times, the kind of right shoulder I had, I don't know how did it do it, but as I was doing it, Akka appeared and gave me only one message, which I thought is very important to share. Shankar, you were offering this honey dipped lotus into this oven. What it means to you is that to everybody who is participating in this home is that you have to connect your heart with your intellect. Unless both are connected, we'll be functioning opposite directions. And if everybody is able to connect their heart to their brain and function, there will be no lack of peace in this world. That was a message I got from her directly out of the home, and I'm sharing it with you. Now, probably we'll move on to the chapter which is called Velvi, written by Akka way back in 1997 or 98, if I remember it, in a book called Nindri Neleberget, which was my Bible right through for my corporate career. And this particular chapter relates to this homam as well as to the topic we have been discussing, Madhuvali Gita. I would request Akila to read it out.
Jainadlala. Yajna is what is offered to the celestial devas. Who are these devas? According to the Vedas, devas are the ones who provide us the inner light and thus energy. Devas in the plural form represent various energies that emanate from the Almighty's divine force. It may be a latent spirit or the one associated with the patent outside expression. Vision, the sense organ of sight, is a faculty of an individual, but there is a deity, the force behind this faculty. This Shakti is present in every living being. We call it as Aditya. We identify this faculty with him. He is the eyes of this world. Similarly, the organ hand represents the energy or power of an individual. But there is a divine force that makes all the hands function. The divinity behind this energy is called as Indra. We are aware that while performing yajnas, avirbhagam, sacrificial offering, is offered to various devas. What does avirbhagam exactly mean? I am dedicating all my senses, faculties, energies, though trivial, to the mightiest energy. This is the underlying import of avirbhagam. I am unifying the individual feeling of I with those of every being. I dissolve my feeling of I into we, me into us. I consider every one of my kith and kin and every one in the society as me. I second my decisions to the resolution and will of God. Now let us understand what is meant by oblation to Lord Aditya.
Can you just stop here? We'll have some discussions on what we have read so far. Any observations we use from any of the Nandajis?
Mama Srikantesh to go first.
As always.
Need a bit of more explanation on the third paragraph, second line. It may be a latent spirit or the one associated with the patent outside expression. Probably this, if you could throw more light, will help.
Any Nandaji wants to say something on this before I open my mouth? Anybody can contribute because it has been circulated probably more than 24 hours in advance. Kannan, you can say something on that?
Yes, sir. It has been a wonderful experience to listen to the experience of the great people who have contributed to the the homas and all with so much dedication, and it's very nice thing to hear such a thing happening even in the worst possible times. Sir, I am just reminded of only one thing. This about the yajna in the Upanishad. The concluding part is Tasaivam Vidusho Yagyasya Atma Yajamana Shraddha Patni Sharira Midva Puro Vedillomani Varhir Vedashika Hritayan Yupakama Adyam Manyu Pashustapo Agnishamayita Dakshina Vaghota Prana Udgata Chakshuradharjurmano Brahma Shrotramagni Yavadhriyate Sa Diksha Yadashnati Yat Pibati Tatasya Somapanandya Dramate Tadupasado Yat Sancharatyupavishatyuttishtate Tasatpavargyo Yanmukhan. Like it's a long one because I will cut it short. What it says is the body itself, the Tasaivam Vidusha Yagyasya Atma, the Atma, this is known as Atma Yagya. In that, the Yajam, the Shraddha is the Patni. Like that, it beautifully describes the concept of the yajna. Therefore, whatever yadashnat yad pibati tadasya soma panam, we know that the soma sacrifice is very important. Therefore, whatever we eat, whatever we drink, that constitutes the soma part. Like that. Then we have got the hota, then advaryu representing each of the Vedas, prana udgata, chakshu. The eye is the advaryu, prana is the udgata, vak is the hota. The hota is representing the Rigveda, and then Udgata is representing the Samaveda, and the Advaryu is representing the Yajurveda. Like that, it's a beautiful thing. All those things are there. That is why Yajno vai Vishnuho Yajnena Yajnamaya Janta Deva. Like that's a wonderful thing, and it's very nice. I just want to listen to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Sri Ganesh has explained in Sanskrit. My knowledge in Sanskrit too poor, but let me try to take out of what Kanyan said. He talked about body, he talked about something inside that is operating the body. This is what Akka says. In your own experience, in the whole of your mind, you have been saying that I should keep this place safe. I got the idol here, I got the lotuses there. It should not be go rotten, or the idol should not be. We had a Saraswatha idol there, small one, very precious one, actually given by Akka to me. And you were worried that that was the internal energy. But you wanted to sleep there and ensure take care of it. That is the external manifestation. So unless you have the internal urge, which is translated into bodily action, there is no unity. Therefore, what occurs is that there is an internal urge, which is reflected in your bodily urge. These are very important for us to understand, because we know there is something inside that is making us work. I hope I made it somewhat clear to you.
Yes, that's very clear and beautiful. Thank you, Mama.
Kakila, can you carry on? Now let us
understand what is meant by oblation to Lord Aditya. Let us make a strong resolution. My faculty of sight should not become a slave of undesirable objects. I shall develop the habit of exhibiting love, smile, and good wishes to those whom I move with. I shall see only the eyes of God in everyone, irrespective of the way the other person looks at me. This resolution should be our oblation to Lord Aditya. Likewise, let us understand the spirit of oblation to Lord Indra. The purport is to extend a helping hand to all other hands. Exercise, hard work, training, etc. strengthen the hands, arms, and shoulders and the muscles thereof. In the same way, creating employment opportunities for the downtrodden is a real offering to Lord Indra. When everyone gets a vocation to pursue, there'll be no room for deprivation of food and livelihood. Poverty will be kept at bay. Let us dedicate our hands to serve the society, and Lord Indra will be pleased with this sacrifice.
Somebody please pick it on mute. Other than who is reading out, can you please keep your phone on mute? Akila can continue. Let us dedicate our hands. That's what I thought you stopped there.
Dedicating my hands to help my countrymen, dedicating my eyes to the awakening of my society, dedicating my mind and heart to the mind and heart of all, dedicating my desire to the desire of my country, and dedicating my thought to oneness. That is, I am one with all. Denote true yajna and the word Vedic declaration, Tattvamasi. You are that.
Stop here. I want Any comments of any Nandajis on the last 4 or 5 paragraphs you read out?
One observation was that my faculty of sight should not become a slave of undesirable objects. That's really, really well translated and really good. And then I thought we should just incorporate these 5 lines, which is there, dedicating my hands to help my countrymen. Probably that should be like a oath in our, we do a pledge in the school. So at this point of time, I'm feeling we should also try to teach children these 5 lines.
Any other comment? We have enough time to discuss, don't bother.
Very good idea, Srikantesh. Really very nice. The children, if they...
I have one question. See, we have got 5 indriyas, you know. We don't have just hands and eyes. We have got several also. And when Kannan reeled out the Sanskrit version, he talked about all the indriyas. Why is the Akka chose to dwell upon only 2 of the indriyas, hand and eye? Any answer for that?
Sir, there is a...
Yeah, please. Your audio is not coming through. Kannan.
Yeah. Sir, what is being said is Hastayoho. It represents Karma Yoga, work for the others. That is the represented by is both.
I think you're breaking, Kannan. You are breaking, Kannan. Yeah, hello.
Sir, I have finished, sir. No, we can, others can talk, sir. Thank you.
We could not hear you because we're breaking all the time. And you said Karma Yoga that I could hand because hands represent the action. There is a simple analysis. If you remember when we started this entire Madhyavali Gita, we talked about impressions, how they are formed. When impressions, fortunately, most of us have got the faculty of eyes. I really, feel sad for people who don't have eyesight, but they're too small. Let us look at the average person who got eyesight. We see something, we get an impression. Therefore, that impression gets into your mind. Now, you have got a choice of seeing something good or something bad. Therefore, you must train your eyes to see what is good. Give it a very, very simple example. Assuming that I had a remote on my hand and there are about 1,000 channels today. There is a possibility some stupid film is going on. Next to the thing, there is probably a Bhakti channel going on. So it is possible for me to push my arrow upwards or downward depending on what I want to see. Therefore, I should be able to tell my mind, please do not go the way the eyes go. Please go the way the intellect or see to go. Therefore, sight is an important action because in Tamil they are used to say, Kannala paakradhu kayyala seyanum appadinu. If you are able to see something, you should be able to do it with your hand. If I am seeing a cutlery or a cookery show in TV, I should be able to translate it into my kitchen and then do it on my own hands. That is what I see, I should be able to execute. If I got to execute what is good, I have to see what is good. Therefore, the indriyas are meant for you to dedicate to see the good and not anything other than that. In Rudra, there is a saying, I may Bhagavan Taraga. My hand is equal to or greater than God because this is the hand that plucks vilva and offers to God itself. Therefore, my hand is like that of the God. Therefore, what Kannan said is about Karma Yoga, it exactly is translated here into Akka words. So she chose that the 2 primary organs we use are eyes and then we do action with hands. Of course, there are legs, there is hearing, there is tasting, but Akka says these are secondary to what you see and what you want to perform. Because what you see, assuming you taste, I see a sweet, I'm a diabetic fellow. My tongue may actually whoosh to take that sweet, but hand should be prevented from taking it and eating. Therefore, this is where your application of intellect comes. That is possible only if you have got Saraswati with you, not otherwise. Any other comment on this? Anybody wants to say something on dedicating my thought to oneness, that is, I am one with all, denote true yajna, and the Vedic declaration, Tat Tvamasi, you are that. And the next time, Akila, can you read the next paragraph and we stop it and then take some discussions on that?
This is the yajna that makes disappearance of I, the shackle, thus enabling freedom. This is the freedom that Vedanta declares as yajna, and the revelation that I merge with him, and I am in fact that him.
Please stop it here. Any comment on this?
Just like this Advaita philosophy where I see Ambal in everyone.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So when I treat Ambal, when I treat everyone as Ambal, then my anger, my ego, everything vanishes off. Something which we need to practice, or I need to practice, but something in those lines.
Yeah, see, while he talks about Advaita, the 4 Bhagavakyas can be interpreted in 3 different ways. Maybe Advaita, you can even visit Advaita, interpret Tattva differently. Also, Madhva philosophy, all talk about one thing, is that ignore I. Ignore that you are something different from somebody else. You are part of that. You may be that is one way of looking at it. You are part of that, it may be one way of looking at it. You can become that one way of looking at it. So the 3 approaches may be different. What we must understand is that I should be able to remove I from me and look me everywhere in everything else. So this probably is the simple meaning. We should not worry about Advaita, Dvaita, or Visita Dvaita. All point to the one thing. Your Atma has to progress towards either realizing you are God, or you are one with God, or you are actually always associated with God. Therefore, these 3 things are very subtle. In fact, when I asked Akka about these things, she said, just leave it to me. If you surrender it to me, I'll tell you what is the right philosophy. Why do you bother about it? Similarly, when we are talking about chakras, in fact, the Mooladhara chakra I was talking about, people are talking about this, this is white, that is blue, that is red. Even lotus, there are several connotations. Somebody says blue lotus is very good. Purple is your your Sahasrara. Somebody says red is your Sahasrara. Somebody says white is your Sahasrara. Nothing. When I talked about Kundalini, Akka said that leave the snake to sleep wherever it is. Leave it to me. I know when to raise it, when it get it back. Don't worry about those things. Surrender unto God. He will tell you whether to pursue Advaita, Dvaita, or pursue Kundalini, or just surrender. So that means that talking about forget yourself, forget your ego, surrender to me. Therefore, I will take care of you. It's a simple thing. This is the same thing Bhagavad Gita also saying. Saranagati is very important. You can take any philosophy. Ultimately, we are talking about oneness. That is what Tattvamasi is all about. Even the 4 Bhagavakyas, Aham Brahmasmi, all these things say the same thing in different languages. You can interpret it, but only thing is, all agree that you are not your body. You are Atma, you may be Jivatma, you may be Paramatma. What they see travel beyond your body. That is what Akka tries to say. If you travel beyond your body, everything is the same. Go to the next paragraph.
Do take my life. Let it be the oblation to you, great grace. Do take my heart, great grace, and let it melt and dissolve in you. Do take my eyes, great grace. Let it be energized in your vision. Do take my hands, great grace. Let it sweat for the truth that is you, great grace. The expression of great grace connotes me and the society to which I belong. I urge you all to perform this yajna. This yajna should be the sole religion that encompasses this earth. It is said that God does appear at the conclusion of a yajna. It's absolutely true. This appearance is the result of the united dedication of all. It is the result of the powerful energy emanating from the unified aspiration and the emotion of all. The power and energy of the team, united by a great vision or goal, increases manifold. Science has established this truth. This is the power of satsang. The energy released by satsang is infinite.
Please stop here, Akila. I'll take some comments from here from anybody. Akhila, do you have anything to say? I have never asked you to share your views. You have been just reading.
Yeah. Yeah, this time I had opportunity to attend the yagna, and I really felt actually one with the yagna, because of late I've had an opportunity, thanks to the satsang and thanks to my involvement in Andlala activities, to spiritually enhance my understanding. So I could connect with the mantras over there, and so I relate to whatever is told in this article, as I am the Tattvamasi and all that. So I could really feel that while I was there in the yagna. So, yeah, that's all.
Any other view from any other Andaji?
Okay, Mama, I'll have to tell. Probably from next satsang, maybe I may have to speak little less and let others speak. Okay.
No, I like questions.
This line, the energy released by satsang is infinite. I am telling that because I have experienced it. When we started with this satsangs some months back, right? It was a very low phase for us in Madhyoli Vidya Bhavan. And in one of the satsangs, when it was told why children can't learn it, you are thinking that they can't learn, like Jai Shrika told that. Then anything that is spoken in this satsang is, I take it as message from Ambal directly. So I thought, okay, yes, so this is a push so that I leave my inhibitions and get going. And every time there is a satsang and there is a topic, it helps in moving forward in the official front as well as in our Nandalala front, both. And previously, there used to be times when I would never use any of these examples in my official meetings. But now I don't feel that inhibition. I say that in our Nandalala satsang, this is what is being told. So I tell all my team members and everything. And that has helped me tremendously in my office work as well as in the school work.
I got some experience to say here. I contemplated on the two lines as I was translating. It is said that God does appear at the conclusion of a yagna. This is very true. I'll share you two of the experiences. One is that in the Saraswati, Maha Saraswati Homam, we used the mantras from Yajurveda in Saraswati Sukta. And there is one full text of Saraswati Sukta. It runs about 41 verses, if I remember right. The verse 35 says that the people performing yagna prayed to Goddess Saraswati. Goddess Saraswati, I am offering you all naivedyams into this yagna. Please take it, eat it heartfully, and please, out of that offering we made you, you become a cloud and pour rains for us to survive. Now, what happened when we performed this Homa, right from day 19th, we had rain. And when this Maha Saraswati Yajna was complete with Purnagati, after wearing that nice blue and pink color saris, it started raining. So God appears, may not be in 4 hands and 8 hands as you talk about, he appears and says that I am with you. And tell you one more thing, just before the 3 days of the 19th, when we started this one, we had quite a few hiccups. One, there was a reoccurrence of corona in Bangalore, and a couple of complexes which is just closer to my house were locked down. And there were calls to me saying that what will happen, the government is contemplating another lockout. On the same day, the flower vendor said that who was supposed to who promised to get 1,000 and white lotuses, he said, I'm unable to do anything. It is out of the market, it's not a season. Then I didn't know anything about it. I know that I go, Akka will help, and then went to sleep. So this all happened in the 15th night or 16th, if I remember right. Early morning, 4:30, Akka comes into my dream, arising out of a blue ocean, carrying on one hand Amrita Kalasa, on the other hand white lotus. I am coming to the home. Please receive me. Now this gives you enormous thinking that even before performing yajna, God has appeared. And next day, thanks to many of the Andajis, they were able to get white lotuses from the very place where Putanu Saraswati lives. Closer to that place, some Surendra actually handled that. He brought in 1,400 flowers overnight, plucked on Friday morning, brought to the Chowdhury on Friday midnight, and then we ensured that it was alive and blooming the next day for the performance of Archana as well as the day after the offering it to Homa. So God appears even before you make yajna, because yajna is not made at the fire. Yajna is made at your mind. That is all about sacrifice. In this connection, I can Srikanth has talked about food. Akka never deprives anybody of food. It is a habit that she will give food. She is Saraswati. She is taking food. She is giving to you food as well as rain. And then coming to that, before going to the next 3-4 sentences, we all know about yajna. There is a homam. There is a yaga. All those things. These all made the same thing. Yaga was done in the earlier regards in every grand phase. Yajna is similar. There, what you do is homam is something between yajna and homam, but it is a sacrifice. We are sacrificing what? We are sacrificing meanness. We are sacrificing our lack of knowledge. If you take the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, which Dr. Kannan referred about, there is a few lines. If I remember it, 3.12, 13, 14. 3.14 is what attracted me quite nice. Annat bhavanti bhudani, parjanyat tana sambhavaka, yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna, karmasa mudbhavaka. What it says is that from food, life sprouts. But food sprouts from rain. But rain sprouts from yajna. Yajna sprouts from action. And action sprouts from the body. And body sprouts from life. Therefore, all of us are actually rooted in yajna. We don't know that. This particular 4 lines Akka has chosen to describe in a 3-page article in Tamil. If you read it Tamil, you will actually feel much more comfortable. It's try to find adequate English way to describe that. This is exactly what Akka has conveyed to us. Please go on to the next 3-4 paragraphs. Akila, it is true that you can start from.
It is true that it is easy for the river to flow through the old waterways, but one may try to link this simile into the thought that old notions should be the only way for current day life. This is not acceptable. Life cannot be reinfused into the body that breathed its last. Can we put back the juice once again into the sugar cane from which the juice was extracted? The dead body and bagasse have to be buried or burnt. Objects and shapes keep changing. They cannot get back to their erstwhile form. Let us perform some yajna in the fire of knowledge. True yajna is that one that suits and is relevant to the changing times.
Can you stop here?
Yeah.
Any comment on this? And this para is full of meaning.
Second line in the first paragraph needs more explanation, Mama.
But that old notion should be the only way, the current way. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm not able to understand that. Does it?
I will just try to explain the way I understood it. See, it is easy for the river to flow through waterways. If you can see, in Bangalore, the old waterways, people are built in flats. When there is a big rain, the flats get inundated up to the first floor. So naturally, water finds its old ways. But there are practices established in the past. Do they hold good on these days? What Akka says is that they will not. Because she clearly talks about Yuga Dharma, which is there in Devi Bhagavatam, in Devi Mahatmyam, as well as in Bhagavad Gita. Every Yuga has got its own Dharma. Therefore, every century, every 40 years, every 50 years, there is something called Dharma. It changes. So what Akka says is that while orthodoxy is right, morality cannot be totally thrown out. If you just take what in Krita Yuga they used to perform yajnas, like Ashwamedha Yagam, Rajasuya Yagam, all these went up to Dwapara Yuga. But when it came to Kali Yuga, we cannot do any of those things the way it has been done. I cannot run Ashwamedha Yaga, nor Modi can do a Rajasuya Yaga at this stage. Yaga is very different. It's a several-day affair. Several things are offered on fire, and you have got 1 lakh pandits coming all over the world and rishis coming. These are relevant in those yugas. In this Kali Yuga, a simple devotion is the only way to go about it. You can be in your Panjakacham, you can be in your pond, but the heart should be in God. Because that is the way we live. Therefore, what we say is that you may be modern in your style, but you can always rely on God in the way you can do that. Therefore, Akka has clearly understood, says that, be open to everything. But stick to ethics. Stick to the thinking that you are not an independent man. You are interdependent when it comes to as a human being. But you are free when you understand that you are not your body and you are offering as a sacrifice to everything, to everybody. Actually, if you look at the way this article has been connected to our earlier satsang, is that we talked about 20 noble values. Out of this, we covered, humility, quite a few from the last two satsangs. This particular article covers non-possessiveness and true knowledge. I cannot sacrifice something if I am attached to it. I have this lotus flower on this hand. I want to keep it on my head, but I got a choice to offering it on the Homa also. So if possessive about this lotus, I cannot offer it in the Yajna. Therefore, you can understand what is possessiveness from this. So you can understand I cannot be a person. Gita says that we are all performing Yajna, whether knowingly or unknowingly. You are part of Yajna, but I will not be part of Yajna if I not able to be dispossess myself of something and have sacrifice for somebody else. Therefore, this is where we thought about being possessive with it. Second thing, the same thing conveys is about true knowledge. Akka has given both in this particular chapter. True knowledge is that you are not this body. You may be God, you may be equal to God, you may go to God. These are different ways of approaching God. This is exactly what it is meant by that. You keep this particular three line, they will never change. The principle will never change. The process will change. Akka says is that you cannot have the same process which I followed earlier. Therefore, you will understand that if I take juice out of the sugar cane, I cannot put it back. Therefore, I have to be new. I'm not just a river to follow the old ways. I am a man. I've got a choice. I have to follow what is available to me at this point in time. It's all about choice, if I remember right. It's a little bit confusing, but when you go through practice, you'll understand this.
No, it's clear, Mama. It's like embrace change, keeping ethics in mind.
Change is the only constant in this world.
Right.
Shankar, can I request something? I want you to repeat that miracle, that dream miracle, because I tuned in a bit late. I only got part of it. I would like to listen to that lotus thing, if you can.
Okay, right. What Akka said was, it is said that God does appear at the conclusion of Yajna. So proof of the pudding is in its eating. What I got, I put the pudding in before I started the Yajna. Because there was a scare that we will not be able to perform because of reoccurrence of Corona. The government may go back to lockdown. There was a scare, even if it doesn't, we will not be able to get Lotus of 2008. And I was a little bit perplexed because having taken the first foot and everybody was, putting their best effort to get this in the difficult times, I was confused. That means my belief may got a little bit, what I can say, shaken at that point in time to get me back into belief. Okay, appeared in a dream coming from a water, holding a lotus on one hand and Kalasa on the other hand, saying that I got Amrita Kalasa, your Dhanvantri home will go well. I got the white lotus. I want 1,008 lotus for me. I am there. Please receive me. This is the message. Then when we started performing the Homa, we got rains. That's what Saraswati says. We prayed to Saraswati, please take all the naivedyams you offer you. Please give us back as rains. And we had rains the moment we completed the Purna Agadi and the Saraswati Homam. That's what I was explaining to. I hope I made it clear.
Just to connect the dots, Mama, I was always wondering why she wanted to send the Kutanur Saraswati to your house. I was all the time thinking, why? I can just connect all the dots now.
Thank you. Akhila, can you carry the balance?
Let us take patriotism. It's not living in past glories. It's not about waxing in eloquence of past laurels. Snail carries its old shell even as it moves into new circumstances. Let us not waste our time in the memories of the past. Our energy is unlimited. Let us realize it. Let us breathe and desire for the ideal India that should be. History, as well as experiences in our daily lives, keep unfolding several truths. When people come together and when their eyes and hands integrate, there arises the rare opportunity for unification of their minds. At this juncture, whether consciously or unknowingly, ideas, feelings, and emotions are exchanged. These lead to arriving at a consensus on ideas and concepts. This is how unity is established and affirmed. Performance of this yajna will turn into gold the time otherwise wasted. It will recoup and compensate all that is lost. It will yield significant gains. This yajna will remove the word poverty from the lexicon. This yajna will engulf everyone's heart with complete satisfaction. We will reach the zenith and stay there. Thank you.
Any comment on the closing paragraphs? Is it obvious or requires explanation?
Obvious, I think Utruma is what we saw in the Homam. And this yajna will remove word poverty from the lexicon. Is like poverty can be in the affection that a person gets, love that the person gets, or it can be the materialistic things. So it will remove all of that, or the intelligence, knowledge.
Put society before yourself. And this principle never changes. There is no old waterway for that. This is something which is eternal. This truth cannot disappear. What Akka talks about that, unless you have an open mind, you will not be able to listen to people properly. Because you must look at issues and not at people. Because the good thing may come from a not so good person, and a bad thing came from really a good person. So look at the issues. Don't look at the personalities. Ignore personalities, whatever is uttered by somebody, listen to it. Then you get ability to talk about ideas, not about people. Once you talk about ideas, consensus emerges. Therefore, it is we who perform, which we who develop the concept, which we develop the execution plan, which we executed. This particular homom, you can all understand. We had seniors not able to participate, and the younger generation took over responsibility on this. No, they never worried about what kind of work they have to take. It was sweeping floor, for taking away eaten plates, for taking bricks from outside and putting it back. Lot of manual work. Nobody worried about dignity of labor, because the idea was to get the home and perform to the satisfaction of Akka. Now, if I can perform one home with this united faith, why can't I do it in my office? Why can't I do it in my society? Why can't I be me the one person who can make a change? I can be the salt which makes the food tasty. Food can be 1 kilo, maybe talk me with half a spoon. I can be one touch which can enlighten the entire this one. Therefore, the reformation starts from me. That is all about adding life to life. That's what we come to the whole thing. And I'll conclude with one more thing. We talked about white lotuses. We talked about Bhairava also. We worship this evening time. Bhairava is worshipped only with red flowers. That too red arali, not even white arali. And white jasmine is no for him. But we offered white lotuses to Saraswati as well as to Bhairava. The reason is that after the 64 Bhairavas, there is one Bhairava who is called Jnana Bhairava. You can see him in Perur. He does not have a dog. Dog is actually association with me and mine. When me and mine goes away, there is true knowledge, which is pristine white. That is why white lotus is offered on the head of Jnana Bhairava in Perur temple. If somebody can go there, and there are a couple of temples where he is without dog, that is called Jnana Bhairava. The same thing that we have offered to in the Homam also. That's what that particular 2 lines I read out from Toduga Uchi Varailum Thodaram Limbam Nilebara. White lotus is offered to Bhairava on his head, not on his feet. White lotus is offered to Saraswati all over the place. Therefore, there is a connect. We'll stay connected. We'll stay on the top of everything. We'll remove the feeling of I from here. Now hand over to Mandar to do the rest of the things.
வெண்தாமரை கன்றினின் பதம் தாங்கவன் வெள்ளை உள்ளம் தண்டாமரைக்கு தகாது கொல்லோ சகமேழுமளித்து துண்டாலுறங்க ஒழித்தான் பேத்தாக உண்டாக்கும் வண்ணம் கண்டான் சுவை கொள்கரும்பே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே நாடும் பொருட்சுவை சோர்சுவை தோய் தரனார் கவியும் பாடும் பணியில் பணிந்தருள்வாய் பங்கயாசனத்தில் சூடும் பசும் போர்க்கொடியே கனதன குள்றுமை பார் காடும் கரும்பே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. அளிக்கும் செழுந்தமிழ் தேளமுது ஆர்ந்துன்னருட்கடலில் குளிக்கும் படிக்கென்று சூடும் கொளோ உளங்கொன்று தெள்ளி கெளிக்கும் பனுவர் புலவோர் கவி மழை சிந்தா கண்டு களிக்கும் கலாபமயிலே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. தூக்கும் பனுவர் துரி தோய்ந்த கல்வியும் சோர் சுவைத்தோர் வாக்கும் பெருக பணிந்தருள்வாய் வடநூர் கடலும் தேக்கும் செழுந்தமிழ் செல்வமும் தொண்டர் சொன்னாவினின்று தேக்கும் செழுந்தமிழ் செல்வமும் தொண்டர் சென்னாவினின்று காக்கும் கருணை கடலே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. பஞ்சப்பிதந்தரு செய்ய பொற்பாத பங்கேறுகமின் நெஞ்சத்தடத்தலராத தென்னே நெடுந்தாட்கமல தஞ்சத்துவச்சமுயர்த்தோன் சென்னாவு மகமும் வெள்ளை கஞ்சத்தவி சோத்திருந்தாய் சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. பண்ணும் பரதமும் கல்வியும் தீஞ்சோர் பனுவலும் யான் என்னும் பொழுத்தெளி தேய்த்தனல் காயெழுத்தாமரையும் விண்ணும் புவியும் புனலும் கனலும் வெங்காலுமன் பாடி கண்ணும் கருத்து நிறைந்தாய் சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. பாட்டும் பொருளும் பொருளார் பொருந்தும் பயனுமின் பார் கூட்டும் படினின் கடைக்கணல் காயுளங்கொண்டு தொண்டார் தீட்டு கலை தமிழ் தீம்பாலமுதன் தெளிக்கும் வண்ணம் காட்டும் வெள்ளோதிம பேடே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே.
சொல்வேற்பனமும் அவதான மூங்கவி சொல்லவல்ல நல்வித்தையுந்தந்தடிமை கொள்வாய் நளினாசனஞ்சே செல்வி கரிதென்றொரு கால முஞ்சிதை யாமை நல்கும் கல்வி பெருஞ்செல்வ பேரே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே. சொற்கும் பொருட்கும் உயிராமை ஞானத்தின் தோற்றமென்ன நிற்கின்ற நின்னை நினைபவர் யானிலந்தோய் புழைக்கை நற்குஞ்சரத்தின் பிடியோட அரசன்ன நாண நடை கற்கூபதாம்புயத்தாயே சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே மண் கண்டவன் குடை கீழாக மேற்பட்ட முன்னரும் என் பண் கண்டளவீர் பணிய செய்வாய் படைப்போன் முதலாம் விண் கண்ட தெய்வம் பல் கோடியுண்டேனும் விளம்பிலுன் போர் கண் கண்ட தெய்வமுளதோ சகல கலாவல்லியே கண் கண்ட தெய்வமுளதோ சகல கலாவல்லியே சகல கலாவல்லியே
That was a beautiful rendering by Soumya, Aarti, and Janani. Before we move into conclusion with Viniti Padikam, I would like to dedicate all our Nandajis to one citation which we had in the past. Dear Madhuvali Akka, several are our eyes, but our vision is one, that is Madhuvali. Several are our ears, but we hear one voice, the voice of Madhuvali. Several are our tongues, but we utter the one line, Madhuvali. Several are our lungs, but we breathe one oxygen, that is Madhuvali. Several are our hearts, they do not beat a dub-lub, they beat Madhuvali, Madhuvali. Several are our hands, but they worship one, Madhuvali. Several are our minds, but the thought is one, Madhuvali. Several are our feet, but the path is one, the path of Madhuvali. Several are our lives, but the goal is one, to be with you and to walk with you to accomplish your avatar's mission. You may not be with us, but your mission will be achieved by all of us. Thank you, Madhuvali. Mandar, anybody saying anything, Padikam?
I can say.
Yeah, please.
Shankar Mama, before that, there's one message which my mother, she wants to tell that all the 3 days, the Alangarans from Ramaka wouldn't have been better. It was the most beautiful thing. And she wants to convey that. So Amma, I've conveyed it. And one more thing which I want to tell Ramaka was, the Pandits group were very keen on seeing what Alangaram Ramaka was doing. They went on to kept taking photographs of all the minute things which he had taken care of. Thank you so much for training others, and thank you very much for all the Alangarams. And thank you, Sundaresh and Mama, for all the white lotuses.
Thank you. I should be failing in my duty if I don't say this. Akka talked about latent and patent. Some things are patent, some things are latent. We just bow to everyone, whether they are exhibited patently or exhibited latently. The spirit is one, that is Madhuvali. Her vision cannot be left incomplete. Helen, you can
Yes.
do a nice first Madhuvali.
Thank you. மதியொழியே மதிமீது வைத்து கதியுமே நீ என்றுந்தால் நாள் நன்மை செய்யும் கோலம் கொளத்த காக்கும் காலம் காவலாகும் என்னும் எழுத்தும் இடிப்பிடியாய் நிற்கும் 5 பூதமும் 8 திக்கும் ஐமென்றி கட்டுப்பட்டு நிற்கும் உயிரினமோ ஜடபொருளோ உருவ பெற்றதோ அரோமானதோ எவரோ எதுவோ எவ்வினமோ பாதகம் அரவேனிக்கே குறைவற்றார் பாதகம் அரவேனிக்கே குறைவற்றார் சாதகமே பயக்கும் ஐம்புலனும் முழுமையும் முழுமனந்தும் முழு சித்தமும் முழு பிரிவியும் தழைற்ற ஆரோக்கியமும் குறைற்ற வாழ்வும் பெற்றிருக்கும் மதியொழி பெற்றுவடால் மூவலகும் முச்சக்தியும் முசுதம் தன்னில் அடக்கிய முக்காலமுமே தியானிப்பவருக்கு இக்காலமுமே பயமின்றி ஜெயமியாம் முன்வினை பின்வினை யாவும் அறுபட்ட இம்மையில் இடையரா கழிப்பம் நல்கி முர்மை என்றா பிரிவையின்றி அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் மதியொழி சரணம்.
Thank you. It was a great effort for somebody who does not know Tamil to say it more clearly. Thank you. And thank you all energies. We will meet online once again in April, maybe twice in April. We have a Tamil New Year coming there. We will get some messages from Akka. I will share the same with you.